welcome to the Good Dumb Fun Future. This is a pre-recorded episode.
Yeah.
Check in on you boys.
As per usual, yeah. If you're watching this, something horrible has happened.
Yeah.
To us,
Yeah.
specifically.
So, we're either dead or horribly mangled. So, find out which is which and make arrangements accordingly.
Yes, please. Thank you.
And so, you guys know the drill. We're not doing mailbag. We're not doing a lot of the weekly small talky stuff, you know. That'll be, you know, we'll pick back up when we get back. We'll bounce back. We always do.
Yeah, unless we're dead.
Yeah, or we just decided to stop the podcast and we're just posting the ones we recorded, you know. This could be the last one. Who knows? I don't know what he has in mind. But I can't get him to re-sign the contract.
This is unbelievable. Like, don't know what we're going to do. It's literally your show.
What do you mean?
Don't,
this was your idea.
Yeah, no.
Unless I dreamed it.
Yeah, no. Oh.
You know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah. Today.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Shadowing?
Shaoling.
I said shadowing, like SHADELING.
A little foreshadowing.
Created a little new word.
Little foreshadowing.
Hey, dude, so we're talking about dreams
We're talking
today.
about dreams.
Very exciting stuff.
This is a conversation we've had over the years. Just, you know, one of us has a weird dream, comes in the office, talks about it.
Dream Me is very well-versed in this topic.
Yeah. So, anyway, without further ado, do you want to get into it?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Awesome. So, dreams.
Dreams.
Thoughts?
Sleeping.
Pro or con?
Pro.
Or for or against?
For or against?
Dreams.
For.
For dreams. Me too.
For dreams.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
Dreams
Sometimes
are cool.
they're not. You know?
Yeah.
Sometimes you let your stress get the best of you, and you have some not-so-nice dreams.
That's true.
But I don't know what your vision is for this episode, but do you want me to just get into, like, my background with dreams?
Well, yeah, let's talk about I've got a bunch of stuff that we could talk about.
Okay.
We're not going to be short on information today.
Okay.
Because this is a fun topic.
Nice.
But I also know we've talked about this enough in our, you know, off-camera lives that this is something you're, I don't know if I would go so far as to say passionate about, but something you've been interested in.
It's been recently. It's funny that we're doing this episode of this in this time and space because I'm trying to get back into it.
Yeah.
I used to be really big into trying to learn how to lucid dream, how to control your dreams, how to utilize them, you know, and things like that. Because initially, in my original thought of pursuing dreams and lucid dreaming and all that stuff is like, initially you think of it as fun.
Yeah.
Because you're like, okay, cool. You can go in and get to do whatever you want. It's a fantasy world and you can do whatever you know, to your heart's desire.
Yeah.
And it was like, that's how it started originally. And then as I was learning more into it, I was like, we spend a third of our lives unconscious. And when I thought about that amount of time not being aware and just existing, I was like, I don't like that. I don't know why. That thought bothered me.
Yeah.
When I'm
that's
thinking
too much
of
time unconscious.
That's a lot of time unconscious.
Yeah.
So I was like, I might as well, I want to learn how to utilize that time. Now, obviously, you can't use it like you would in your waking hours where you're like,
Right.
oh, I'm going to learn how to speak Spanish in this new time that I've gained. It's like, well, no, not that. But I just mean like, you know, let's say you're busier than usual in your normal life. It's like, okay, well, then you can use some of your relaxation time, your fun time, your whatever you want to call it time, meditative time, personal time, in the time that you're going to be sleeping anyways.
Right.
So that's how it kind of evolved. And then I was trying to learn more about how to induce lucid dreams and kind of the basic principles of what your brain does while you're sleeping and your subconscious and all that kind of stuff. And I do have a funny story.
Okay.
So one of the lessons that if you Google it or you read somebody's book or whatever, a lot of people will tell you that one of the things to start training your brain to recognize that you're dreaming is to start, when you wake up, write stuff down.
Oh, okay. That's not where I thought you were going.
So essentially, what that does, from my memory, is that you're forcing your brain to remember more of it. And then as you're remembering the dreams, they become more and more vivid, and then that allows you to then start to peek the door, so to speak.
I heard somewhere like, and I think this was in my fun facts. Like I think we forget like 95% of our dreams right after we wake up. So you're holding on to 5%.
Yeah.
And you lose that gradually as well the longer you're awake. But if you wake up and immediately write it down, you retain more of it.
Right.
Before you lose it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I started essentially what I would do.
Dream journaling.
Yeah. But I wish I did not write them down before the podcast, because briefly as I was prepping for this, I started going through and reading them, and I was like, I don't know what any of this means. I was like, I don't read it. I can't understand it. There's just a lot of wild
blue goldfish warned against communism.
Well, yeah, no, one of them was like, at grandma's house, so-and-so is mad at me, and then giant green alien converted me, spent time in lawn chair. And I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Like, it's not enough detail.
Because in the moments, like in the past when I was journaling these, as I started writing them down, you would remember them more through, like, weeks could go by and I'd be like, oh, I can still remember that. Like, I can still imagine it.
Yeah.
Now, no shot.
Yeah.
All those that I'm reading from years ago, no.
Yeah.
But what was happening was I found that the more I did it, the more details that I would remember. Because it started as just like, okay, I remember red ceilings, I remember these people, I remember feeling this way, and then it just got gradually longer and longer and longer until some of them were literal, you'd have to scroll to read them. Now the longest dream I remember what felt like real time, because in your dreams, if you're not doing stuff like this, your dreams kind of feel like fragmented and very fast.
Yeah.
The longest dream that I remember being like, that felt like forever, it felt to me the equivalent of a real life hour.
Wow.
And I was like, that was a long time to me, what it felt like. But the funny part was, and it's kind of scary, I got into the habit so much that I started to write them down in my sleep.
Like you were...
I would wake up unaware of what unconsciously happened. My phone would be open, and there would be notes that I didn't remember typing.
So it's like you sleepwalked.
Yes. I started sleep recording.
You were sleep writing.
Right.
Sleep
and when I read...
Sleep annotating.
That was literally unlegible. It was
it
was just random words.
Oh, so you
in my phone.
Oh, okay.
It was in my phone. That's what I'm saying. That's the crazy part. The phone had been opened.
Yeah.
And then it was just like salad, and then it would be like random letters like mashed. And then it'd be like red, and then it'd be like and then but the funniest one, I woke up and I laughed. I laughed so hard it echoed through the apartment. I woke up, the phone was open, there was only one word that was typed in the thing. It said Mungo. M-U-N-G-O. That was the only thing. And I laughed. I bellowed.
You're like, I'll remember what that means.
I laughed so hard. Harder than I had in a long. That's top 5 laughs. Like when I think about laughs, that's top 5.
I wish I
don't
could...
know what nothing. There was no. That was a zero recollection night. I just woke up and just Mungo, and that was my slogan for weeks. Anytime something random was happening, something I couldn't quite find the words for.
Yeah,
Mungo.
That's awesome.
So throw that on a t-shirt.
I wish. We could. We do have a merch shop. I wish I thought about sleepwalking and like doing stuff unconsciously, because I have 2 times in my life that I can remember that I actually screenshot it. I texted people in my sleep, and it was usually like when I was attempting to stay up all night, like it was New Year's Eve or something. And, there was one that I remember sending somebody, and I have them in my phone, which is conveniently up there being used right now. But it was something like Chipotle iced bin paintballing something or other. And then
Nice.
they replied and they're like, are you drunk? And the next morning I was like, no, I was very sleepy and I don't remember sending this. So, and then there's one that, I don't know if it was that one or another one. I texted my now wife, and she said the same thing.
Yeah.
But, the sleep stuff's funny. I remember, Courtney will remember this. I was having a dream that I was like in that weird state where you were like half awake but still participating in your dream but doing something in the real physical world.
Yeah.
And so we were in bed. It was the middle of the night. I was in the middle of our bed on my knees reaching up towards our ceiling fan. And I woke Courtney up and she was like, what are you doing? And I basically, I don't remember what I said to her, but it was something like, I need to, like, it was just,
I need this.
I was trying to communicate.
I have to do this.
I was trying to communicate to her that what I'm doing is important and I can't talk right now.
Right. I'm busy.
Because in my dream, for whatever reason, it was really important that I turn the fan off.
Yeah.
And so I'm still participating in my dream, but I'm half awake in the middle of our bed. I woke her up. Now she's mad. She's trying to figure out what I'm doing. I'm like, I don't even have time to explain this to you right now. And in hindsight, I have no idea what I was doing. Yeah. I don't remember anything.
Something important.
It was very important. That's all I remember.
It was probably the most important.
All I remember is that it was very important.
Yeah.
And then I pulled the wrong chain and I turned the light on. And that's when I fully woke up and I turned the light right back off and I laid back down and she was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm sorry. And I rolled over and I went back to sleep. And she was like, I think she was like, no, you're not going back. Like, what just happened?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm sorry. It was a weird dream thing. I didn't mean to. Like,
That's
it was
so funny.
Yeah. So she'll remember that. That was awesome. Not at the time, but So I wish I would have thought about grabbing those screenshots and reminding myself what I said in my half asleep texting. But what you're saying about your notes reminded me of that.
Yeah. I've never. We've had a family of sleep talkers, but I've never, from what I understand, I nor anyone I know in my family have done stuff. It's usually always just been, sister was a sleep talker. I apparently talk in my sleep sometimes. Mm-hmm. But the notes thing was the first thing where I was like, I have no conscious recollection of doing that or writing that down.
Yeah.
So it's wild.
Yeah. It is crazy when you wake up and find out you did things.
And the half asleep, half awake stuff is weird too, because like you're sort of semi-conscious and then stuff starts crisscrossing and bleeding over. Or even if you're just thinking about normal stuff as you fall asleep. Like one of the worst things, the most jarring, upsetting thing to me is when you're thinking about something for the next day, whether it's like what all you have to do, what all you want to do, whatever, and you start to fall asleep, and then you do the leg kick thing, where your body starts to think that it's like whatever happened, whatever neuro functions between your brain and your body, they get crisscrossed, and you're thinking about something with your legs, and then your legs and then you spaz in the bed. Yeah,
it's called
freak out.
It's called a hypnic jerk.
A hypnic jerk,
and it happens as you're falling asleep, and something fires in your brain that like.
You tripped or something.
It jolts you. Yeah, it jolts you.
It's terrible.
For me, it's a lot of times something like a baseball bat or some sort of object. Like I'll describe it as off camera because you're seeing everything from your perspective. So it comes from off camera and then it's like coming right at my face. Yeah. And that's what jolts me awake. That's my hypnic jerk. My most common one.
I've never had anything else that I'm aware of. It's always been I start to think about something where I'm walking and then I trip. Or I'm trying to take a step, like step up a staircase. Yeah. Like I'm going up or down, and then I just completely
just fall.
Rock the bed. Yeah. Abigail always is like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Sorry, staircase. I tripped. Sorry."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But dreams are really cool.
Dreams are cool.
Dreams are cool.
Well, I want to kind of lead us through this a little bit, and I know we're going to stop along the way when something jogs our memory or we relate to something. But so what I found interesting researching this, I primarily went to a couple different websites. One of them was like a magazine, but it had an article about dreams. And so anyway, what I found interesting was that nobody's 100% sure why we dream, but there's a bunch of theories. So what are dreams? A dream is essentially a mental experience that happens when you sleep. It's a mix of images, emotions, thoughts, sounds, memories, and sensations created by the brain. Nobody really fully agrees on why. There's a few famous like psychological theories, and then I'll kind of get into some of the more modern ones. So Sigmund Freud, very famous for dream theory stuff. He thinks dreams are hidden messages from the unconscious mind meant to reveal repressed desires, fears, unresolved emotions, or symbolic wishes. For example, dreaming of falling could symbolize a loss of control in your life, according to him. Carl Jung, his theory was that dreams are symbolic guidance from the psyche. He believed that dreams help balance the mind and reveal deeper truths about ourselves. So he focused less on repression and more on archetypes, spirituality, and personal growth. Modern neuroscience thinks that it's just the brain's way of helping us process emotions, consolidate memories, rehearse threats. That one's funny. We'll get into that in a second. Organize information and reduce stress. So basically, it's your brain cleaning and organizing itself overnight. There's actually a lot of Courtney took a psychology class about the brain in college, and she was telling me about all these things that I didn't understand at the time, but I've noticed it in my own life. If I'm like practicing learning something on guitar, I'll really struggle with it. Like the first day I'm learning it, and then I'll go to sleep, and I'll wake up the next day, and I'm better at it. Mm-hmm. And she said that that's part of what your brain does while you sleep is like categorize some of that information.
Solidify it probably,
yeah.
too. Yeah.
So even something like that, like learning something on guitar or piano, like you might be really struggling with it, but overnight your brain kind of like puts it on a shelf somewhere. It's more natural the next time.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Like that's something solid that I could see.
Yeah.
In my own life. So the threat simulation thing is funny. So some scientists think dreams are survival training where your brain practices danger scenarios, conflict, escape, social situations, and things like that. So your brain is basically going through like a fire drill, almost. So
a training, a simulator.
Yeah. So that would explain things like nightmares, chase dreams, anxiety dreams, things like that. Like your brain's like, okay, let's pretend we're being attacked by aliens. Here's what we would do.
Right.
You know, that sort of thing. And then there's random activation theory, which is basically the theory that dreams don't mean anything, and it's just our brains firing on all cylinders, just kind of throwing stuff at us to entertain us while we sleep.
Right.
And they don't mean anything. It's just your brain. It's just your mind trying to create a story from the chaos that your brain is just presenting it.
What do you think it is?
I think it's a mix sometimes. I think sometimes my dreams are so random that they don't make any sense. They're not memorable. I'll wake up and I might remember something and be like, that was weird, and not think anything else of it. Sometimes I think they are symbolic, where it's like, you know, maybe I'm stressed about something and this, whatever I dreamed about was representative in some way of the thing that I'm stressed about or afraid of or whatever it is. There's been some dreams that have been very thought-provoking that I still don't fully understand. There's been some dreams I've had where I felt like they kind of came true in a way in the future, like in like a premonition type way. Not that I, you know, predicted the future in any sort of way, but it's like, oh, yeah. I dreamed about this exact thing.
Better hope this episode doesn't air.
Happening, you know?
They're going to come get you.
Yeah, well.
They're going to lock you up and be looking.
I'm about to break through
They're going to be looking for the future.
Yeah, I'm about to break through the veil. But, so I think it's a mix. I think sometimes it is, like, especially if you're not sleeping well. Like, if you're, like, in very shallow sleep, I think it is just a lot of randomness. Mm-hmm. But if you really get into a deep sleep and your dream has, like, a unified story, or, you know, oftentimes, I don't know about you, I get dropped into the middle of something, but I'm fully aware of what I'm in the middle of. And I just kind of pick up from there and I go until I wake up.
Right.
And it's like it had one continuous thing, or maybe I was, I walk into one room and then maybe I walk into the next room, and when I walk back in the room I was just in, it's different, and I don't notice, that sort of thing. But like, it's all one continuous thing that I'm not waking up in between of. Like, those I think can be more representative of something symbolic, or in some way, like, your brain, even if it is a self-preservation thing, like, subconsciously you may not realize you're worried about this, or you're thinking about this, or this is in the back of your mind, and it's never been brought to the front of your mind, but it's back there, and your dreams are kind of helping you process that. That's kind of what I think.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, I think it's, in my opinion, I think the random, which we're not experts, but I think it's.
But we do dream every night.
I believe that it is random activation, because what a lot of people don't know, at least from what I've read, is that your brain stores as much as it possibly can to recognize things. And so, in a sense, that means your brain is categorizing and saving every color you see, everything you see, and it's connecting, and it's associating, and it's doing all these things. It's like, but you don't think about that.
That's why
because we've spent our whole lives categorizing things in our brain.
That's why we see faces in clouds and stuff like that.
Right.
Your brain's recognizing a face that's not
recognizing a pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
and it's like, you look at anything, desk, picture frames, all that stuff. Like, you don't have to consciously think about that stuff. Tom Ryan.
American hero. Tom Ryan. Yeah.
You don't have to think about that stuff because your brain is categorizing it.
Mm-hmm.
And what was crazy to me in some of this research was like, the majority of your life, your brain is keeping as much information as it can.
Mm-hmm. And
in the age that we live in, where you're just bombarded with stuff almost every second of every day, it's like your brain is just has all that stuff.
Yeah.
And when you're asleep, your brain is just shooting off random stuff, and that's why everything's random. You're like, why did I dream about a green picture frame that had my great-great-grandmother in it?
Right. And sometimes I think, like, random activation is accurate, and I think even memories fall into that. Yeah. Or, like, you're dreaming about something you already experienced, and it's like you're getting a replay of it in your brain while you're sleeping. I would say that's part of random activation.
Right.
But there are things, like, I don't know if random activation can describe or explain, like, recurring dreams. Or
and my theory on that is that anything that you're forcing your conscious mind to dwell on,
mm-hmm.
your subconscious is going to dwell on it as well.
Sure.
Because you're putting it in your brain, you're putting this thing at the front and center.
Yeah.
Stuff you think about a lot.
Yeah.
And what we don't think about, which, dude, I'm either going to sound like a genius or I'm going to sound like a complete idiot. But
we've been both.
When you're thinking, people saying that you get recurring dreams and you're like, but I don't know what it means. It's like, well, what if the amalgamation that your brain is connecting to is showing you those things because you subconsciously associate those things with other things.
Right.
So what I mean is, let's get real philosophical about it. Let's say I have a fear of responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a dream that a T-Rex keeps chasing me and I'm going to keep running away from it. What if my brain created that random amalgamation because it associated running away with how I run away from the responsibility? Because in my brain, I'm like, I know I have this thing. I know I have this thing. I don't want to do it yet. I don't want to do it yet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do it yet. And then it associates that feeling, because it is, it's anxiety, an anxious feeling. And it's like, well, when he's having this recurring thought, he's afraid. So what else goes with fear? T-Rex.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the recurring dreams and stuff like that, because I'm not sold on the idea that our dreams mean anything. I'm not sold on that, because I think it is truly just a random firing of dwelling
mm-hmm.
of all the things that exist in your brain, because we can't consciously fathom the amount of data that we're holding in our own brains.
Yeah.
Because your brain there's only so much room.
Yeah.
You know, so you're constantly forgetting stuff too. Stuff
Right.
you may not think about.
Yeah.
Because it's gone. Your brain said, "See you later."
Yeah.
But I'm not sold on it being some sort of your brain trying to tell you something.
Okay. A lot of what you just said, though, sounded like what Freud and Jung think about dreams, like hidden messages from the unconscious mind, revealing, you know, unresolved fears and emotions,
Right.
and wishes. And what if, okay, you can combine these things. Like, okay, maybe it is random and it's just your brain giving you what you've been dwelling on
Right.
subconsciously.
That's what I was trying to get
But then
at,
your
yeah.
mind interprets it in a symbolic way.
Yeah.
That, so it almost sounds like a combination.
Well, and we've always tried to make sense of our dreams.
Yeah.
So I think when your unconscious brain is processing everything your conscious brain thought of and all of the things that it had to put away into the unconscious, it's trying to do all this stuff, and again, stuff we probably don't even know that it's doing.
Yeah.
And so it's a double thing. Your unconscious is trying to make some semblance of what the conscious is doing with all the data presented to it. And then when you wake up, you're trying to process the unconscious, which is impossible because the unconscious is just an amalgam of stuff.
Right.
So, yeah, I think it's a mix.
Yeah, I think we both kind of agree on that. Maybe from different angles, but it is kind of a mix of the theories.
The meaning thing is tough because it's like, where does the meaning draw from?
Well, the meaning, we're deriving meaning.
Right.
From, I mean, you can do the same thing with movies and books and things like that. Like, okay, I read this story about this hero who went and did these amazing feats, but what does it mean?
Yeah.
It's like, well, maybe it's just a story.
Right.
But if you can derive meaning from it and apply it to your life, then it's helpful.
Yeah.
You know, so I think dreams in a way can be like that.
Yeah. And I think a lot of this is just like the language we use, because a lot of people, including probably us at some point, is that when you hear somebody say, "What did this dream mean?" you're thinking that there's meaning coming from somewhere outside of just your brain.
Sure.
Whether that's a spiritual thing or a metaphysical thing or something that is what we would categorize as weird.
Right.
But I wouldn't bite for that.
Yeah.
I think your brain just, we're all just, this meat muscle is just trying to make sense of what's going on around it.
Yeah. But you got to think too, I mean, not everybody would agree with this, but you know, we do live in a physical and spiritual realm.
Right.
So sometimes I think the two can cross over. So maybe sometimes there can be meaning from outside of us. You know what I mean?
A scary thought, though.
Yeah, and we're going to get into a little bit of that.
That's a super scary thought.
So that kind of leads us into this. So let's talk about the different types of dreams.
Okay.
So you have normal dreams that would just be your standard.
90% of them, see you later.
Yeah.
Amalgamation.
Just
green
random
picture frame.
Mashup of memories, emotions, recent experiences, random nonsense. Nightmares. So disturbing dreams linked to stress, trauma, anxiety, PTSD. Recurring dreams repeat over time. Maybe it's the same setting, the same fear, the same situation, stuff like that, where you just keep seeming to have the same dream over and over again. Maybe not every night, but on a recurring basis. Lucid dreams we talked about, where you realize you're dreaming, but you don't wake up, and you can control environments, fly, change outcomes. It's basically consciousness inside unconsciousness. False awakening. Have you ever had this happen? You dream that you woke up, but you're still dreaming.
Well, I was about to ask. I was going to say, I think you should read through the list that you're doing right now.
Okay, sure.
And then let's go back and revisit each one and see if we share. One we'd be cool sharing.
Yeah. Okay. So false awakening. Next one is sleep paralysis. Not technically dreaming, but you wake up mentally, but your body is still asleep, and it feels like you're paralyzed. Prophetic or premonition dreams. You're dreaming about an event before it happens. And then stress dreams. This could be, it's usually an anxiety-inducing thing. You're late. You're failing a test. You're forgetting something important. You're embarrassed in public. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, So normal dreams.
So normal dreams, let's just say that the normal dream is the 90% that you forget.
Yeah.
Or some random thing that doesn't make any sense.
Sure. Nightmares.
Nightmares.
Do you remember your first nightmare?
Yes.
Me too.
My first nightmare that like induced like genuine fear was I had a dream. I dreamed that I was in the woods by myself and a T-Rex was coming to get me, and it would get closer and I would get through the brush and it would barely be able to get through the brush, but every time I thought I was safe, he would make progress and I'd be like, I gotta get out of here. And
so it was a chase dream.
Chase dream.
Okay.
So that one, that one was the T-Rex dream. I had a issue with dinosaurs for a while.
Were you like scarred by Jurassic Park or something?
Yes, dude. Jurassic Park 3, when, which I think the dreams happened before the phobia.
Eric.
Because, yeah, dinosaurs, T-Rexes are scary. But where Jurassic Park scarred me, and where I had a lot of really bad recurring nightmares, was when they were in the trees trying to hide from the raptors in 3, and they were using that guy's bait, and then when they kind of crept up on him and sunk the talon in his back, that
was a hard scene.
It's also the most hilarious. The place I saw that and it snapped in my brain, we were at a Mexican restaurant eating dinner. And it was on a random TV in the background.
And you said...
And that day, it scarred me. Yeah, I literally was like, I don't feel like eating anymore. I'm scared.
Your family's like, Patrick got quiet. He's not eating his gordita.
Oh, man. So what about you?
Mine was, it was like literally the whole dream that I remember took place over the course of 5 seconds. And it was... I was in my bed in my childhood home that I lived in until I was 5. So I was very young. I was laying in my bed. It was an out-of-body dream. So I was seeing myself across the room asleep in my bed, and then out of the shadows into the light from the moon or the street lamp coming through my window was the alien from Alien featuring Sigourney Weaver, like slowly arching over me onto my bed, and then it just like slowly like opened its mouth and lowered itself over my face, and then I woke up.
Bro!
But I wasn't seeing it from first person. I was seeing
you were watching it happen to you.
Yeah, from across the room.
That is that's so scary, bro.
And
that's crazy.
Yeah. So, and I don't know if I ever saw the movie Alien at that point.
Yeah.
But I probably like walked
subconsciously,
by.
yeah.
Yeah, I like walked by and it was on, and it just like subconsciously scarred me. Yeah.
I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah.
That's a terrible picture you painted. Question before we move on.
Yeah.
Do you remember your first dream?
No. That's the oldest dream I remember.
The oldest dream I can remember, I wouldn't categorize it as a nightmare, but I remember being in my childhood bed that I grew up in, and I dreamed that there was just a black hole in the center of the room, and I fell in slow motion into the black hole.
Ooh.
And then when I fell through what was probably in my brain, the threshold, was when I woke up.
Wow.
That's the very first dream that my conscious brain has ever remembered.
That's crazy.
But yeah, dude, dreams are cool, dude.
Yeah. What about recurring dreams? Have you had one of those?
Yeah, the T-Rex one happened a lot back in the day. Trying to think of some other ones. You're going to find this hilarious because you know that my consciousness, I don't fear the water.
Sure.
I have a lot of shark dreams.
But your subconscious knows you should.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, the simulation. Because I would have a lot of shark dreams where I would be in this weird body of water, and they would be like, hey, don't get bit by the shark. And then in recent memory, I had a recurring nightmare. This was probably like 2 years ago. It went on for about a year, but it only happened like 4 or 5 times. Mm-hmm. But I would have a dream that I would be in a home I didn't recognize, and my brain perceived the darkness as a living thing, and I knew that the darkness was going to swallow me, and so everything was just a last-ditch effort to like do something, like reach for a light, try to do something. But it was the same in that I felt the darkness, and I knew I was going to get swallowed, and I was like, I just got to do something.
Yeah.
And then I would wake up.
Well, surely that's meaningless and not symbolic at all. Moving on from that boring dream.
What about you, dude? You got a reoccurring dream?
I've had some over the years. That darkness one's crazy, though. That got me thinking. There was one that I told you about, and I remember you reacting at the time because I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but you were like mind blown by it. I had a dream 3 times. The first time, it was in a house that I'd never been in before. The first time I had the dream, it felt like I was in there for hours. And then I woke up, and I'm like, that was probably one of the longest dreams I've ever had. Mm-hmm. And I explored the house. It was huge. It was like a mansion. And it wasn't like a normal house. Like, there was rooms. It didn't really make sense. And it was not a lucid dream in the in the definitional sense. But in my dream, I was exploring this house, and I found a room that was like, you're going up like a staircase, like a grand staircase, and about 3/4 of the way up the staircase there was a cove before you actually reached the second floor. So it was like mid-floor, you kind of go down into like this half story floor. I don't know if I'm describing it well, but like you're going up the staircase and you kind of take a left into the wall. There was an opening, and you go down again about half. So you're about half of the floor, half a story up from between the first and second floor. And it just felt really comfortable, and it was like cozy. And I felt like, oh, this is a good place, mm-hmm. and I'm safe here. And I just like hung out there the rest of the dream. And then probably weeks or months later, I had a dream again where I found myself in this house again. And it's a house that I made up. Like, it's not a real house. Right. I've never been there, but I remembered it. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't have to explore at all. I immediately went back to that room, and I'm like, this is awesome. I found this room again. Yeah. But then I was like, I kind of want to explore more. And then I went all the way up to the top of the staircase, and then I found there was this other kind of cool room that was really bright, and there was a lot of natural light coming in, and the carpets were white, and the couches were white, and the chandeliers were fancy, and it was like this nice, elegant, like just nice room. Yeah. And I kind of hung out there. And then I had a dream about this house a third time that wasn't very long, but I found myself in the house again, and I went back to that second room this time. And then before I could explore anymore, I woke up. But I remember telling you about that because you were surprised that my brain invented a house and then remembered it. Yeah. And it was the same. Right. And so that was that's pretty cool. That's the most recent recurring dream that I remember, and it was a setting. I was in the same place. Right. And nothing had moved. Like, that's kind of crazy. That's awesome. False awakening dreams I've kind of had where I wake up and I start getting ready for work, and this is where you get in trouble, especially as a kid, because you wake up and you dream that you go to the bathroom, and then you wet the bed. Because you're in your dream, you're up and you're going to the bathroom in the toilet. But I've had dreams where I got up and I'm in the shower and I'm getting dressed, and then I wake up and I've done none of that. Yeah. That's devastating. I had a false awakening. It was one of the more lucid dreams that I had mm-hmm. because I false awaked like 3 times. Okay. It was brutal. Yeah. Because I kept in the dream remembering the previous dream. Oh, weird. Like, I had a dream that I had Wolverine powers, and I was in the jungle, and I was fighting dudes, and it was crazy. It was gnarly, and I was like, dude, I'm unstoppable. And then I would wake up in a panic because of whatever, similar to how you were saying your brain doesn't remember. Like, there's no, sometimes most of the time you get thrown in the middle. Mm-hmm. I woke up and was like, oh, I'm in danger because I don't have powers. This is real life. And then the real life situation was I was in this weird, almost like a carnival-y style room. Like, there were lots of bright colors. Yeah. And things were really weirdly shaped. And I was like, but I knew I was in danger. And because I was like, I'm a human. I just woke up. Obviously, that was a dream. Psych. I need to figure out how to get out of here because this is not good. And then I woke up from that dream into another dream. Mm-hmm. And it did that 1 or 2 more times. And then I finally woke up and was like, dude, that felt forever. That was one of the longer ones. That's crazy. But, yeah, I've never false awaked into like a normal Mine are almost always
what you
normal.
would think like a real life dream.
Yeah.
Those I don't have a lot of those.
Yeah, I don't have them very often, but when I do, it's almost always just normal routine stuff.
I did.
Where I'm like, I'm getting up and I'm doing what I would do.
Since we're talking about real life dreams, the most recent real life dream I had a couple months ago, because again, with the way life has been the last couple months, like I don't remember anything because it just feels like you barely sleep and you wake up and you're just like on to the day.
Right.
But I had a dream that I was still in college and I was late for class, and I got into the class and they were dividing the class into groups, and depending on the group was going to be who your teacher was for that class. And when I got to my section, it was 4 times World's Strongest Man Brian Shaw, the legend. And I was like, this is the greatest day of my life. This is going to be the best thing that's ever happened.
What was he teaching?
He was like, we're not having class today.
Oh, nice.
And so we were all walking out, and I was literally just talking to him about weightlifting while we were walking out of the building, and then I woke up.
Oh.
It was awesome.
That is awesome.
So.
That's awesome.
But yeah.
Have you ever lucid dreamed?
I don't think I've ever achieved a full lucid dream. I got to the point where what typically happens with people who are trying to lucid dream is that as you get closer, you'll start to become aware, and then as you become aware, that flips your brain to wake you up.
Yeah.
That's as close as I've gotten.
That happens to me quite a bit. I've lucid dreamed twice in my life that I could like point to this and say that's what I did.
Yeah.
One time I was in Mexico, and it was like this village setting, and I like realized I was dreaming, and I'm like, this is crazy. And then the second time it was more of a dream world, and I like flew around a lot, and that was kind of crazy. That was awesome. That was the awesome one because I was flying.
Right.
Every other time that I've realized I was dreaming in a dream, I woke up.
Yeah, mine was the flying one as well.
Yeah.
In the dream, I became more and more aware that I was trying to figure out how to fly.
Yeah.
Because I was doing the little hover jump thing, and you'd jump and you'd do your little, and you'd move a little more, and I was like, I know the feeling.
Yeah.
I was like, I can feel it in my body that I know how to fly, but I don't know how to make it go. And the more that I was thinking about it, trying to like use real human brain to be like, how do I figure out how to do this? I was like, I'm learning how to fly. Is this real? Am I And then as those thoughts started coming in, then I woke up and I was like, dang it.
Dang. That's the worst too, is when you're like, you feel like you're on the cusp of it.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm lucid dreaming.
Almost here.
And then you wake up.
Yes.
Yeah.
But flying, as someone who's afraid of heights, flying in dreams is the best.
It's a lot of fun.
It's the best feeling ever.
Having only done it one time.
It's what I imagine you would feel like if you had the ability to fly, because most of the time fear is from something you know because of your limitations.
Yeah.
And I imagine if you knew how to fly subconsciously, your brain wouldn't fear falling.
Yeah.
Or fear heights, because your body's like, what is there to be afraid of? Like walking, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, why would you be afraid of dirt if you know you can just step on it and you're going to be okay?
The lucid dreams description said stuff like controlling environments, flying, changing outcomes. The Mexico dream I had, I don't know that I just knew in my dream I was like, I'm in Mexico.
Yeah.
I don't know why. But that was more of like a control environments dream, where like I would just think things and they would happen. And then the other one was more of a flying dream.
Yeah.
But I don't remember much. The Mexico dream wasn't very long.
If you could lucid dream right now, what would be your first move?
Flying.
So, bam, you wake up, you're flying.
I'm flying. That was more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. The controlling environments thing was more like bizarre than anything.
Yeah.
Like I almost didn't like it.
Yeah.
But the flying was a lot of fun. So that's what I would do.
Right now, going back to the whole like trying to learn it for practical application, I would use my dreams to cheat on my diet. I would literally dream and just be like, I'm just going to sit here and eat for hours.
Yeah, cheat day.
And I'm going to get the satisfaction from it. And then I'm going to wake up and I have done no damage.
That's awesome.
Which, talk about, dude, think about the practicality of if you could be fully aware in your dreams.
Yeah.
Like you could do all the stuff you wanted to do or felt like you wanted to do, or entertain yourself, or whatever.
Well, and like you said,
And
your
then you
brain,
wake up and
your brain remembers a lot of what it has taken in over time.
Yeah.
So like imagine, like you mentioned learning Spanish earlier. Imagine that like I'm in my dream and my brain remembers every page of my high school Spanish book, and it's just in there somewhere.
Yeah.
And I just teach
and
myself
you
Spanish.
unlock it. Yeah.
In my dream. Like that'd be crazy.
Okay. We might be on. So, okay, we might be onto something with that. Because what if any knowledge that we truly learned? Because obviously you skim stuff. It's like you're not going to remember it.
Right.
But like, imagine if we could access our old knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like personal ancient knowledge.
Personal ancient knowledge.
Yeah.
I love that.
Have you ever experienced sleep paralysis?
This is the one I have not.
Me neither.
I've never had a sleep paralysis. I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
Because I've met and talked to people who've had sleep paralysis. I've never heard a positive sleep paralysis story.
No, I don't think there is.
Even if there's not, because typically, because of like media and stuff, we think that people see demons or some horrible thing. Like I've talked to people and read stories where no bad dream thing happens, but just the sole fact that you wake up and you're like, I can't move.
Yeah.
Because then, in my mind,
You're vulnerable.
if something demonic wasn't happening, like
Yeah.
something scary wasn't happening, my first waking thought would be, I've died. Like I would think that like I had a heart attack in my sleep and now I can't move. And how am I going to communicate that somebody needs to take me to the hospital? Like I would think
Right.
that something immediately physical, my body has shut down and I've been paralyzed and I can no longer move.
Yeah.
That alone is terrible.
Yeah.
And then you add into the fact that like, oh, the Hat Man is in the corner.
Okay, I'm glad you said that. I actually wrote down the man in the hat.
Yeah.
Because that is something that, we've talked about this in other like Spooktober type conversations.
Right.
The man in the hat is a recurring common dream.
Right.
So there's people from across cultures, across...
I don't know how to explain common dreams.
Yeah. Like,
that stuff's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people from across cultures who don't know each other, who have never heard of the Hat Man, like, are describing the same thing that they saw. And it's more than like, oh, sleep paralysis demon, or like a lot of like alien abduction stories can be connected back to sleep paralysis and things like that. But like the man in the hat is so specific.
Right.
So I wrote it down. So people across cultures have reported seeing a tall, shadowy figure wearing a wide-brimmed hat or trench coat, standing in doorways, corners, or beside their bed. Many people describe him very similarly, despite never hearing about him beforehand.
Yeah.
So a lot of people think that that is a simulation theory thing, where the man in the hat is the last person we remember seeing before we were put under. And so we're dreaming about him. Yeah. So
I hate that.
I don't buy into simulation theory,
Right.
but people who do think the Hat Man is some sort of like the director of the program.
A memory or
Yeah.
something, yeah.
Yeah.
Or the last doctor or something.
Yeah. So that's kind of crazy. A lot to think about. We could probably get into some sleep stuff in Spooktober, now that I'm thinking about it.
Probably.
Yeah. On the other side of that, I heard about this recently. Have you heard about the man in white
No.
dreams? So these are recurring testimonies, mostly from parts of the Middle East and North Africa, where people report dreaming of a calm, radiant man in white robes who speaks peace, guidance, and encouragement, saying things like, "Follow me, do not be afraid, your sins are forgiven," stuff like that. And according to many of the reported testimonies, a number of the people who describe the man in white say they recognized or are told in the dream that he is Jesus. The figure either directly says that he's Jesus, or the dreamer feels an immediate certainty or recognition of his identity, or later exposure to Christianity informs the dream retroactively.
Okay, pause.
Yeah. Middle East and North
So
Africa.
these people, some of these people are reporting that they have this dream, this figure. They're like,
They
I
call him
know
the
who
man
that
in white.
is.
Yeah.
And then later on, they learn about Christianity, and they go, that's the guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe my previous theory that dreams mean nothing was completely wrong.
So some ministries and Christian organizations working in Iran, Afghanistan, Egypt, and other restrictive environments have collected stories of people converting after dream encounters with a man in white. These reports often emphasize that the individuals had little or no prior exposure to Christianity. And it's almost exclusively happening in
places where Christianity is restricted.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
They call it the man in white dreams because they don't always know who he is, but but the people who have these
they
dreams
know
are
how
seeing,
they feel about
they're seeing
person.
the same person.
Right.
So like if two people who didn't know each other had the same dream, they're describing him the same way. And sometimes he introduces himself, sometimes they just know.
Yeah.
Sometimes they look back and say, that's the man I dreamed about. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Yeah. Look that up. So, with the time we have left, I thought it'd be...
Bro.
I know.
Okay, you weren't kidding.
Yeah. I thought it'd be kind of fun. So, dreams in the Bible do have, significance.
Yes.
Oftentimes they're dreams of guidance, like Joseph, Mary's husband, has a dream of guidance from an angel, like, hey, don't divorce Mary. Jesus is the Son of God. Like, you're going to be his earthly father. Sometimes the dreams are symbolic, like Jacob's ladder.
Yeah.
Jacob sees a vision of angels ascending and descending from heaven to earth, like kind of establishing, hey, there's a connection between the physical and the spiritual, and kind of symbolic of Jesus later on, because now he is the connection between heaven and earth. Dreams as warnings, where like Daniel interprets King Nebuchadnezzar's dream,
Right.
about like
The plagues
what
and
the
all that other
statue,
stuff.
yeah, or the Pharaoh, yeah. Joseph interprets Pharaoh's dreams about the incoming famine and things like that. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to do somewhat of like a dream interpretation game.
Okay.
But we kind of already talked about a lot of the stuff that I wanted to get into during that.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to pick a few, and you just tell me what you think they would mean.
What I think it would mean? Okay.
Yeah. So try to interpret the dream, and then if you've ever experienced this, feel free to share, like, oh, I've had this happen.
Okay.
Pregnancy dream. You probably never... Have you ever had a pregnancy dream? Okay. No. What do you think that symbolizes?
I think...
Just pretend dreams mean something.
Okay.
For this game.
I think if you had a pregnancy dream, my first thought would be, how much did you eat in the previous day?
Okay.
That would be my first thought.
Okay, so common theory suggests that it symbolizes new beginnings or major life developments.
I was close.
Falling dreams.
Falling dreams?
Yeah, which you've said you've had.
Every time that I can think of right now, every time I had a falling dream, usually involved something that I didn't want to do when I woke up. So I'm going to say that falling dreams means that you have an incoming appointment that you're not looking forward to.
Okay, that could be. And these are just like the descriptions that I found.
Yeah.
Were from, I think this was from the magazine.
Okay.
Where they talked about different kind of dreams and what people think they mean, like psychologists or whatever. It's not going to be like, oh, every time you dream about this, it means this. That's not what they're saying.
Right.
It's just like, here's the consensus that they think
The
this is what it
themes.
means.
Yeah.
So for falling dreams, they say it usually feels, or it's usually connected to feeling out of control, unstable, or uncertain in some part of your life.
Mm-hmm. Close enough.
Being chased, which you've had.
Being chased.
Yeah.
I think if somebody told me they were having dreams about being chased, I would probably... I'm not going to do that bit. I was going to try to do a bit. I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
I think that being chased is running from your problems.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Or according to this, right in agreement with my paper.
Right.
That's what I mean by correct.
Yeah.
I've had a chase dream that I just remembered. I was at the end of a long hallway, and the hallway was like a grayish white, and it was really long, like long enough that you're like, dang, that's a long hallway, but not so long that you couldn't see the other side.
Right.
And think of like an L shape, like you get down to the end of the hallway and your only option is to go left.
Yeah.
Something came out of that from like behind the wall, and now it's on the other side of the hallway from me. And all of a sudden, I don't know what it was, some figure took off in a dead sprint towards me, and I tried to turn around and run away, and I could only move in slow motion.
I've been there.
And
I
woke up.
I've had the exact same dream.
I'm like, this thing's gaining on me, and I can't move. Yeah. And so I don't know if that's a chase dream or something else.
That's a chase dream for sure.
Let's see. Let me skip down. Teeth falling out.
Teeth falling out.
I had one of these recently.
Again,
the only one I can remember. In my life.
I would ask, what did you have? What did you eat in the previous? Because I think what it is you're guilty about what you ate in the previous day.
Yeah,
that's what happened. Do you have something to confess?
No. Well, I mean, maybe, I don't know. I had a bizarre one. So, and I think I told you about this. I don't know if it was on the podcast or not. Within the last year, probably, I had a dream where I had something in my teeth. Mm-hmm. And I picked at it.
Yeah.
And then my tooth, the enamel of my tooth started unraveling like a thread. When you pull a thread from the bottom and it just goes around in a circle like that. It's a pretty unsettling mental image, and I'm sorry about that.
It's an unsettling feeling.
Yeah, and it does feel weird.
I'm feeling it right now.
I'm feeling it as I'm talking about it.
Yes.
So I'm picking at my whatever's in my tooth, and my enamel on my.
You're unraveling your tooth.
It's unraveling.
Yeah.
And then I just kept pulling on it because I couldn't help it. And it got to the bottom where it couldn't unravel anymore, and then the whole tooth fell out, and I woke up.
What'd you eat the day before?
I don't know.
We need to get to that. That's the real root we need to.
Maybe I accidentally.
The real root.
Yeah. Maybe
to address.
Accidentally had some Iowa corn. Let's see. Have you ever had a drowning dream?
A drowning dream? Yeah, there's too much going on.
Okay.
Too much stuff going on.
You don't want to talk about it?
I think when I had
Or is that your answer?
That's my answer.
Oh, I thought you were I don't know. I got too much going on to answer that one.
No.
Yeah. No, that's right, though.
Yeah.
Usually represent feeling emotionally overwhelmed, pressured, stressed, or consumed by responsibilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had those a lot as a kid, being like, dude, I know how much work I got to put into that level in that video game tomorrow, and I'm just not. I'm not looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of difficulty. And then I would drown the night before.
Yeah. What about fire dreams?
Fire dreams?
I don't know. I can't think of
I have a lot of fire dreams.
I don't think I have either, but this says they can symbolize anger, passion, destruction, purification, or feeling powerless in a situation.
Yeah, I don't think I have a lot of fire dreams.
Out of control. Anyway, so those are some different types of dreams.
That was fun.
It was fun. And this is just kind of anecdotal, but can you think of any movies or music or anything like that has to do with dreams that what comes to mind when you're thinking about dreams in pop culture?
Oh, Dreamweaver.
Okay, that's a good one.
That's what I think about.
Okay.
Dreams, again, we've talked about this on a different subject, psychonauts. I think about psychonauts a lot.
Yeah.
I think about entering the mind.
Oh, yeah, that's
of dreaming and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I think of dreams, I think of probably what people think about when they think of psychedelic drugs. When I think of dreams, I think of swirling colors, impossible shapes.
Yeah.
The wild, just stuff you wouldn't think about in the normal.
Yeah.
That's what I think about.
I forget I read that something in an article said, dream logic is what they called it. In dreams.
Stuff makes sense that doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes sense to you in the dream.
Right.
But then in hindsight, you're that was bizarre.
Yeah. What do you think about?
Sweet dreams are made of
Great song.
Yeah.
Inception.
Great
movie.
I was going to say, that's probably the most popular one.
Great movie.
Inception, Dreams Within Dreams. The Matrix is kind of inspired by dreams.
Yeah.
Because it's you're waking up to a reality, you're questioning existence in a simulated world. It's not about dreams, but it's kind of inspired by dreams.
Right.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
Don't fall asleep. What about, have you ever seen a show or a movie where it's revealed at the end that it was all a dream?
Yeah.
Have you ever enjoyed that?
No.
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 So Wizard of Oz is a good example. Where, she wakes up at the end and she's back in Kansas.
Yeah.
There was a season of the show Dallas that they chalked up to a dream of one of the characters. And apparently, I never watched that show.
I would be so furious. An entire season.
Yeah. So
I would be livid.
all it said, fans were furious.
Yeah. That's terrible.
There were several episodes of The Twilight Zone that were dream.
Right.
Dreams. Total Recall.
Yeah.
Didn't you say you liked that movie?
We were talking about Blade Runner.
Oh, okay. Alice in Wonderland is another one. There's a song called Dreams by Fleetwood Mac that was popular. Sweet Dreams by the Eurythmics. Dream On by Aerosmith.
Probably
the
number one thing that has dream in it.
Dream On. I lost my upper register
Yeah.
at a concert. And I like this. Fun facts about dreams.
Yeah.
And then we'll finish up. So humans spend about 6 years of their lives dreaming.
Yeah. See what I mean, dude?
Yeah. We spend more than
crazy.
that asleep, but
Right.
6 years dreaming, because dreams usually only happen in REM.
Yeah.
Like in your REM cycle.
Right.
I don't think exclusively, but normally. Most people have 3 to 7 dreams per night, even if they don't remember them. You're more likely to dream during REM sleep, where your brain is highly active. Your brain is often more emotionally active while you're dreaming than while you're awake. People tend, I referenced this one earlier, people tend to forget about 95% of dreams shortly after waking up. Blind people can dream too. They just, it's different. They're dreaming about feelings and emotions and touch and sound and all that stuff. Animals likely dream as well. Scientists have observed dreamlike brain activity in dogs, cats, rats, and birds.
I've seen dogs dream a lot.
Dogs dream all the time.
It's hilarious.
I have 3 dogs, and when they all get to dreaming at once, it's pretty funny.
It's so funny.
Yeah. You usually cannot read clearly in dreams because the brain's language processing areas behave differently during sleep.
It's one of the
tips for lucid dreaming.
When I was learning about lucid dreaming, they said don't force yourself to try to read stuff. It's like you can recognize it, like, oh, I can't read that, but don't try to read it.
Yeah.
Because if you try to read it, your brain's going to activate that part and you're going to wake up.
Yeah. Same thing like if you look down at your watch and the time doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Phones and modern technology surprisingly appear less often in dreams than you'd expect. So if you're in a dream and you look around and nobody has a phone and you don't have a phone and there's no phones, like, probably dreaming.
There's probably some meaning behind that too.
Yeah. I heard somebody talk about this one time and they're like, I wonder if like 50 years ago, if people didn't dream about newspapers, like if there were no newspapers in dreams.
It's a good point.
Paul McCartney reportedly dreamed the melody for Yesterday. And when he woke up, he wrote it out and wrote that song.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Mary Shelley, the author of Frankenstein, said she got the idea for Frankenstein from a nightmare-like vision. So she dreamed a lot
That's
of
how a lot of creatives
Yeah.
seem to find stuff.
Yeah. And then finally, like we talked about earlier, this was included in the fun facts. Nobody fully understands why we dream.
Yeah.
But
the brain's cool.
It is cool. And this was a good...
That was fun, dude.
That was a fun conversation.
That was. Dreams are cool.
Let's post this Monday.
We can.
Yeah. Let's not do a pre-record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can do that.
No, I'm just kidding. All right. Well, whenever you see this, make sure we're okay.
Yeah.
And I hope you're having a good time. I hope we're having a good time whenever this comes out.
Wherever we're at.
Whatever we're doing, you can shame us privately or publicly for missing a week or whatever, but maybe we're doing something fun.
Yeah.
Oopsies. So taking a little break.
Yep.
But all right, well, I got nothing else.
Okay.
So
let's rock on.
Cool. I've been Josh.
I've been Patrick.
And this has been the Good Dumb Fun Show.
This is a dream.
Wake up.
You need to wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up. We miss you.
We need you.
Your family misses you. It's been 6 years.